Life DiBiase.
All right, y'all. I'm a little late, but we still got to do this. Good afternoon. Excuse me. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. And good night. No matter what time you might be digesting this content, whether in passing or religiously, whether religiously or in passing. Shout out to the boy Butterfly. I got that from him. It pretty much sums up everything we're trying to do. But y'all know where it is, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know where it is. We the People TV. Y'all know what it is. The Offenders Initiative Podcast. That's what we on again today. Another live episode, y'all, of the Offenders Initiative Podcast. All my stoneheads, man. All my true offenders. Thank y'all for pulling up. Another good session about to be in the books today. Y'all seen the caption. Y'all saw what happened earlier today. All my nerds, all my nerd blurred nation. Thank y'all for pulling up because this one's for y'all. The Supergirl trailer has dropped today. We're going to check that out amongst other Marvel and DC news that I might come across before I get a little too fried and I don't know what's going on. So first of all, how many of y'all are did y'all see Superman? That's a good question. Did y'all see Superman? Let's go there. For everybody that might have saw Superman. Oh, let me see something. Good. All right. I got that sitting over there ready to do that. Back over here. Okay. Yeah. Roll up, y'all. Roll up, y'all. Roll up, y'all. I hope everybody got everything that they need or whatever. We still smoking on that LA Pop Rocks and Purple Push Pop. You know, we're gonna let some folks get in here. You know, everybody get rolled up, light up, because this is gonna be one of those. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and get into it, y'all. Without further ado, the Supergirl trailer. Let's check it out. And if need be, I'll spin it again. No problem.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy. I, Kara Zor-El, hereby declare that 23 will be the best year yet. Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Her Tom didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Do others on your planet have powers like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of two.
What's Superman like?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
Okay. Hold on. All right. Initially, y'all, what are we thinking? I'm sorry, am I not growing? What do you mean? Tell me what you mean. Welcome to the channel and all of that. What you mean, what am I not growing? Okay, well, until he answers that, whoever that may be. We're gonna move right along. All right, y'all. Tell me what y'all are thinking. We just saw the trailer for Supergirl. First reaction, I saw a couple of things in there, and I kind of got the vibe of I'm gonna wait till I get rolled up and then we're gonna talk about it again. But it's kind of off top. It's giving me Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, which leading me to believe after watching season 2 of Peacemaker and watching the Batman, not the Batman, Jesus Christ, Superman. I'm kind of getting that James Gunn kind of wants his universe to be happy-go-lucky and wild and free and bubbly. And for one, you can't do Batman that way. Batman can't be wild, free, and bubbly. And if you bring out that blue and gray suit and it doesn't make sense, I will hate you for life. When you die, I'm gonna go ahead and take myself on the body and come on after you, James Gunn, for messing that up. Nah, but on the real, it's giving me Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. This is Supergirl. I don't know if every movie that's going to be in DC should have the Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. This isn't Marvel. This is DC. Let's mix it up. You know, that's one. But after I roll this up and get it to where I need it to be, I'm gonna show the trailer again. I'm gonna show the trailer again, and we'll go from there. Y'all tell me what y'all think so far, and tell me what you're smoking on in the comments too. Yeah, so we still within a good sesh. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna call it hamburger buns yet. I'm gonna light up and we're gonna see how we feel. Again, tell me in the comments if you were around for the first round of me showing the trailer. Tell me how you felt, your initial feeling of watching it, and yeah. Okay, I think we good enough right here. All right, I'm gonna light up and we're gonna try the trailer one more time, y'all. We're gonna try the trailer one more time. About ready? By the way, I'm looking at this on Twitter, on my Twitter. All right. Supergirl, official trailer. Light up. Let's check it out. Cheers, y'all.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy. I, Cars Orel, hereby declare the 23 will be the best year yet. Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Proton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Do you others on your planet have powers like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of 2.
What's Superman like?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Off top, very, very Guardians of the Galaxy. Very, very Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if I minded so much with it being Supergirl, you know? I'm gonna see if I can get us a real breakdown here. Let me see here. It would look as though somebody has already broken down the trailer. The people that we love to watch and all of that have kind of broken down the trailer already. We've watched it twice over here. Let's see. If you want to, I can run it one more time, or we can move on. Matter of fact, nah, we're gonna go to a trailer breakdown just so everybody can know exactly what they were looking at. And it's actually official teaser trailer, so I don't want to mess that up. It's a teaser trailer. All right. You know what? We can go to Comic Book Cast 2. Salute to Comic.
Is loaded with tons of content. So let's dive right into it and look at everything you might have missed.
Oh, salute to Comic Book
Okay,
Cast.
so we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to get straight into the breakdown of this absolutely incredible trailer, and we're going to do it scene by scene as always. So let's start at the beginning. So right off the bat, they want us to know this is a different type of film and a different vibe. So of course, we got some James Gunn crude humor, even though this is directed by Gillespie. James Gunn is the executive producer. He had a voice, and we get Crypto pissing on a newspaper highlighting Superman.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if this is the vibe we get in the Batman movie and it's not dark, grim with a lot of ass whooping and action scenes and detectiveness and all of that kind of stuff in it, if we don't get the right Batman, James Gunn, I will hate you more than I currently hate Andy Muschietti for what he did to the Flash. And I'm slowly starting to forgive him because of the It series, which has one more episode that we're going to check out. If that episode is fire, I forgive Andy for what he did to the Flash because I ain't like Ezra Miller like that anyway.
Man. But if we move to the next frame, we can see Superman was saving the city and doing all sorts of things. Kara saved a couple of cats. So you can tell that they're playing with the idea of Kara is sort of, I guess, maybe not looked down upon, but feels like she's lesser and she needs to find out who she is and the type of hero she.
I don't know. It might be a part of her feeling lesser because in the trailer, she's getting drunk, right? You can see her somewhere at a bar getting drunk. Under the yellow sun, her nor Superman or any other Kryptonian can get drunk. She goes to planets that have a red sun to go party because then she can drink the alcohol there and actually get drunk. So obviously she's on the planet with a red sun if we look in that scene or whatever. I say all that to say this. She wants to escape her problems. She might be one of those people that either misses Krypton or she's one of those people that has all these superpowers and she can't deal with the fact that all this responsibility falls on her because of all this great power. You know, she just might be like, man, fuck it. I just want to be a 23-year-old girl and like go to college and what I'm saying, do it to a lot of guys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever girls do in college.
Wants to be. And again, if we go back to the Superman one, it's sort of showing us what's happened since Superman. Superman saves town from nuclear reactor explosion. Now, of course, if you watched Peacemaker, you know that Superman and Supergirl have been working together with the Justice Gang. So clearly, there's going to be some connective tissue.
I ain't gonna lie, that part on Superman where Peacemaker shows up on TV and was like, "Why do you think Superman don't like you?" He was like, "It's obvious. It's because I'm more jacked than him. Yeah, like I work out way better than the dude. I got bigger muscles. Like I see why he doesn't like." Salute to John Cena, man. It's about to be John Cena's last match, man, on Saturday. I plan on watching that. Salute to John Cena, aka the Peacemaker. But yeah, back to the Supergirl trailer.
Here, and time has gone by. We don't know how long, but it's probably about a month or two, I would say, just to give us a little bit of a time gap. We then go over to Kara herself waking.
Herb Scribe, it's the boy DC in here. We still smoking on that LA Pop Rocks and Purple Push Pop, man. I'm not moving to nothing new. I'm not moving nothing new till next week, man, which y'all will have a review coming y'all way. As a matter of fact, because we are damn near rolling into the next week. Next week's strain of the week will be Lemon Tide. That's what I'm gonna mess with next week, y'all. Lemon Tide will be the strain of the week next week. I'll give a review on it. We'll smoke on it. We'll have lots of fun, and we'll do stuff like this.
Up and she's talking to Crypto and how proud she is that this time he actually used the newspaper and didn't, take a piss anywhere else. Which makes me think that they're going to drop a line that he possibly took one on her or something. Totally that crude humor that you kind of expect.
Or maybe he shitted on Lex Luthor when they were taking him into custody because, Lex Luthor did have him, chained up in the last Superman movie. Maybe he pissed or shitted on Lex. That seems very dog-like to do.
Especially with James Gunn having input on it. And again, I really like this. It's a different style and vibe for Kara. And I like that it just shows us that she's kind of like out here just not doing well. And that's something that's definitely in this trailer all over.
And the smoke is from JK Distro, of course, man. Tell them folks, man, if y'all talking to them, tell them Slay putting on for y'all.
Over it. So let's move on from this to talk a little bit about how the action picks up and where she's
Hold up. That boy said he's smoking on some permanent marker mixed with some cookie crisp. Cookie crisp. He got cookie crisp. I ain't mad at you, my boy. I ain't mad at you at all. Put that shit in the motherfucking air, man. So I'm telling all of y'all that pull up and watch my channel that actually support the podcast and all that, man. This shit could be over with tomorrow, man. Grab you a nice blunt, grab the people you love, especially during the year round from end of September all the way to the beginning of January. That's family time, man. Get your nice blunt, man. Get in the house and kick it with your fam, man. You know what I'm saying? Put something in the air. You feel?
Because next up in the trailer, we see that there is a ship coming down, and we see that the ship is rather rickety as one of its engines as it's trying to land.
Tell me this shit not looking like Guardians of the Galaxy, bruh. James Gunn. That shit worked for Marvel because we had never seen no shit shot like that. By the way, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3 are some of my favorite movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But this is DC. Like, I'm not going to say you got to go Zack Snyder dark, but you ain't got to go MCU CW light either. No. CW wasn't like because people was dying on them shows or whatever. But yeah, man, you ain't got to go Disney. Like, you can go a little dark on this. It don't hurt nothing. It should look like Guardians of the Galaxy like shit.
It's kind of not really stable. And then we get our first best look in the trailer so far at Kara sitting there at this intergalactic bus stop. Take note of the fact that she doesn't have her Supergirl costume on or anything. She's got that ragtag jacket that clearly looks
like a Ravager. She looks like a Ravager. She looked like Star-Lord in them. Tell me she don't. Come on now.
Beat up and like it's been used up. She's sitting here. It's rusted. It doesn't look like this place sees a lot of movement. Nobody's cleaned it for a while. It's dingy. It's grungy. It has that vibe of sort of like I would say Borderlands. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Borderlands.
That's a hell of a bus stop, ain't it? Because that's exactly what that should look like, a bus stop.
Games on the outskirts, you kind of get that idea of Pandora. Kind of reminds me of that. Then we got a better shot of the bus arriving and her, getting onto it. And I just kind of took this screenshot here because it gives us the vibe and shows you a little bit more of the color grading and the colors and how they're going to be juxtaposed to the rest of the trailer and some of the other color splashes, which conveniently brings us to the bar, which I'm guessing is all sequential here. And as you see, she's entering this bar and she just walks by and takes this guy's drink who's not even looking. And there's a couple things I want you to know here.
By the way, she's on another planet taking somebody's drink and she's under a red sun, meaning she's totally human. Meaning if he smack a spark out her ass, she really gonna feel some pain, some shit that she don't normally feel when she's on Earth under the yellow sun. You better stop playing with people, cars, or car hell.
On the absolute amazing neon lighting, which I love neon lighting, and it really works with the music in the trailer. But also, if you look behind, like the not the chain link, but like
if you're just pulling up, tell me in the comments what you're smoking on, and if you've already peeped the Supergirl trailer, tell me if you're looking forward to said movie.
I don't know, the metal that's all the way on the left, and you look behind, are some sort of masks. I'll come back to those in a moment, because we then cut to Kara talking about how, hey, 23 years. So now we know the age. And we also see her, yeah, she's reckless. She's at this bar, she's drinking. We know that this is a place from the comics. So obviously they wanted to keep it in here and do something with it. So here it is. And then we see her sort of enjoying her life, having a good time, dancing, singing. And again, look at those masks and helmets behind. Makes me think that this is a bounty hunter town, like an outlaw town, where the worst of the worst are going to be. And
You mean like Nowhere with the big giant celestial head that, Peter Quill took the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy to in the first movie? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Is my man copying? Yo, James Gunn, if you copy and paste this motherfucking movie, bro, all right.
she's probably got a bounty on her head from the villain, which I'll get back to. So, yeah, I think she's here trying to do something good and gets caught up in all this bounty hunter action. But before we can get back to this place, let's talk about Krypton. So chances are you guys know that Krypton has been redone, retold, re-envisioned, retooled with its history, Kara's history as well. It's been changed, how it's destroyed and everything. So here we've known for a while that we are going to see the destruction of Krypton to some degree and what happened on the planet.
That looks crazy. Look at that shot, bro. That shit look like some Independence Day type shit. I mean, you could say to yourself, how many times are we going to see Krypton get destroyed? We really haven't really seen it get destroyed, but like once maybe, for real. Might have seen it a couple of times in animated form. I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying? But I want to say live action. I've only seen it once, and that was in Man of Steel. With the new generation of kids coming up and these becoming their superheroes and all that, you have to retell these stories. Yeah, you got some folks that might be in their mid to late 30s, early 40s, or even mid 40s, or even late 40s, you know what I'm saying, who are still within they blurred or nerdness or whatever. And we've seen Batman's parents get killed in Crime Alley a million times. These new kids haven't, so I don't mind folks retelling the story if they're going to do it right. And the fact that the destruction of Krypton hasn't really been touched on live action too much in the theater, this should work.
Now, there are obvious hints in this trailer and all over it in regards to what's happening. For example, in this scene, we see everybody running. And it's, I think, easy to assume that this right here, the main character that we're supposed to focus on, the woman, is probably Kara's mom, and that they're running from the destruction of Krypton right now.
How the fuck you gonna run from destruction? That's like that one meme that I seen a couple of years ago going around online where the earth gets like shattered in half by an explosion, and the caption said, "What you gonna do if this happened?" Motherfucker said, "Nothing, nigga, die." Like, what else am I gonna do? It's over with. How you gonna run from that?
Which brings me to a very interesting scene about somebody asking about this, and the mystery of who this is and what's going on definitely intensifies, because it definitely seems like Kara's going to remember Krypton and that she's probably still suffering some form of PTSD from seeing that destruction and what happened. And this is the route that she's gone down, unlike Clark, who doesn't remember anything. And it's pretty obvious that this girl is going to be like her sidekick slash buddy in this film. And it wouldn't surprise me if maybe Kara has taken a job to rescue this little girl.
Anybody have any idea who this little girl might be before the snipers get a hold to? Anybody that's like more versed in DC have any idea of who this little girl might be that Supergirl is linked up with on this foreign planet?
And that's why she's caught up with all these bounty hunters. And then again, we got another shot of Kara with all the Kryptonians. And it's going to be interesting to see how they frame this, because there's some interesting stuff going on here that we're going to discuss in the rest of this, including a burial and a Lobo. So some sort of burial or death honor. I don't know how they're going to handle whatever they do with death or afterlife, but clearly they're carrying a coffin here. Kara is
Before he says what he says, that could be Kara reacting to somebody dying on the planet before the whole entire planet got destroyed. She could be reacting to like maybe her father dying. Oh,
involved. I'm gonna guess that maybe her dad passed away, and this is like the funeral.
yes, John.
Because I don't see anybody that could potentially play her dad. That's why her mom, I'm thinking, is front and center, and that it's a tough time for Kara, and then everything, including the destruction of Krypton, happens, which we clearly see. I mean, there is a lot going on here as the shield is, lowering down. We see elements did survive. So are they going to do an element like the Bottle City or something? Or what are they going to do? We don't know. It's a different continuity, but it's safe to assume they could.
The Bottle City with Candor? I might have that wrong.
Take elements of it, which then brings us all the way back to what I said about Kara and PTSD, because there are multiple scenes of her clearly not in the right state of mind, showing a lot of emotion, collapsing to her knees. There's definitely going to be a lot that weighs her down, which I absolutely love. Automatically making her more vulnerable and different from Clark is a huge green flag for this film for me. But then we are going to jump back to the bar. And the bar is important because we see that all these bounty hunters are here and they're pointing the guns at her as well as her companion or her friend.
She's somewhere on a planet where guns hurt her. Just always don't forget that. So that means she has to be somewhat witty in order to get out of getting a bullet put in her ass.
And, this is where Kara's like, oh, this is not going to end well for any of you guys because obviously she's Supergirl. Like, what are bullets going to do to her? And we got a couple of really great scenes here. Again, the lighting is
Although I
superb,
could
and
be
you can
wrong.
tell that there's going to be at least 3 to 4 action sequences just by this trailer in the film, probably spread out real well. And I wanted to just take this shot because it's very well lit, and I love the anamorphic lens on here. Just it's good. I really like anamorphic lens.
I think there'll be more action scenes than what we've seen in the trailer. I think James Gunn is trying to give us the comic books damn near to a T, but with its own twist in live action. So the goofiness of some, yet the seriousness of others. I'm not giving up on the James Gunn DCU until I see Batman. I'm not giving up. I ain't gonna give up on James Gunn just yet, but Mr. Gunn, if you fuck that up, that's all I'm gonna say.
So, anyways, the only shot of the villain is right here. So he's very different than what is in the comic. We know this, so we don't know what they're going to really do with him. He has an interesting design, I will say that. And I'm wondering if there's a symbolism to like all these dots and things on his head, because it doesn't look like it's a natural pattern. So I'm going to guess it's something extreme, like, oh, every time I kill somebody, I pierce this into my forehead or
Okay, Eric Killmonger.
body or something. I don't know. Who knows? I'm interested to see how this plays out, considering, hey, the actor turns out to be a real villain in real life. So there we go. Another scene of Kara just walking. They're kind of talking about history, remembering, and Krypton. So again, we're going to definitely touch upon that. But let's talk about Lobo. The role Jason was born to play. We only get this one shot. It's perfect. It's Lobo.
This is our first official look at Lobo, y'all. I see it's in low quality. They'll probably chop it up soon enough and bring all that good pixels out, and we can get some good, somebody will chop it up and turn it into a t-shirt soon. But this is our first official look at Jason Momoa as Lobo, not as the dumbass fucking the Aquaman. Make him be Aquaman. That was the stupidest shit ever. Just he didn't even look like him. Just man. Anyways, yes, this is who he should have been the entire time. Lobo. This is our first official look at Lobo, y'all. Jason Momoa as Lobo. From what I can see, pretty accurate, pretty fire.
What else do you need to know? He's going to be perfect. I'm guessing he's showing up at the aftermath of everything, and he's going to be like, oh, so she destroyed all you guys before the main man could show up. Okay, well, where does she go? Because I'm chasing her down. And that brings us into the final shots of the trailer. So Kara, fully suited up. I'm guessing this is the final act of the film. She's going to realize I am somebody from the House of L. I'm going to honor this throughout the galaxy, just like Clark is on Earth. And we get a cool action sequence that unfolds. And we don't see it in the trailer, but from the set photos and videos, we know that Lobo is involved with this action sequence as well. So there's definitely going to be a lot happening. And I'm guessing the two are teaming up at the end. This was an excellent trailer, in my opinion. It did exactly what it needed to do and more. It doesn't hold too much back. It gives us just enough teases. It makes us desperately want to see more. It's as good as a teaser trailer can really get these days. And it's not a typical Sony trailer where it's the entire film beat for beat. So I am into this. This looks excellent. I cannot wait to see the full-on trailer with more completed visual effects and, of course, more Lobo. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will.
Okay. So how we feeling about that? Salute to Comic Book Cast. Please, again, give them a like, comment, and subscribe. How we feeling about that? Supergirl trailer breakdown. We feeling about that? But wait, there's more. Hold on. What else did I see around here? In further DC news. Oh yeah. Let's get to that. Hold on. I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all something that I was looking at a little bit earlier. I'm sure everybody has heard about when Netflix or several other companies were in a bidding war to buy the Warner Brothers property. And turns out that Netflix are the winners. So, but just like anybody else would ask, okay, Netflix won that whole property and everything that comes with it. What does that mean? I was actually looking at something a little bit earlier that actually kind of tell you exactly what's going on with that. And I wanted us to take a look. Let me see. Hold on. Because this needs to be known, because Netflix, y'all not going to do all of this and get over, and then people still buy your product, and it's something that they probably really don't want. So let me see. No. Give me just a second. Yeah, y'all roll up another one because I'm about to do the same. Let me see. I'm checking here. It was a really, really good video. Oh, y'all. I ain't gonna let y'all go like that. We gotta talk about this one. Plus, there's more Marvel stuff afoot. The more and more they are just letting way too much go about this movie, I think, or maybe it's to trip us up to not let us think the movie's gonna be one thing and it just give us a total surprise. Should be right over here. I should just be able to slide and find it. Okay, here we go. Here we go, y'all. This is by way of IGN. Says, what happens to DC in the Netflix WB buyout? Yeah, let's hear this.
The weird, sprawling saga of Warner Brothers Discovery just dropped another major plot twist as Netflix seemingly emerged victorious in the bidding war over the company. This means that Netflix, already one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world, will now control the film and TV rights to franchises like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and of course, DC. Batman is now a Netflix character. Batman. Provided the acquisition is approved by federal regulators, that is. So this new deal raises many questions about the future of Warner Brothers as a studio and what this means for theatrical distribution, many of which will only be answered in the months and years to come. But for many superhero fans, the biggest question is what this all means for DC Entertainment, a company that has already experienced more than its fair share of turmoil in recent years. So let's explore why the best case scenario for DC right now is simply business as usual.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
DC's leadership has been nothing if not tumultuous over the past decade. Back in 2016, Warner's ushered in the era of DC films with Geoff Johns and John Berg serving as co-chairman of the division. But after films like Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League underperformed, Johns stepped down in favor of Walter Hamada in 2018. Now, despite the success of 2018's Aquaman and 2019's Joker, the DC brand remained on rocky footing, leading Hamada himself to leave the company in 2022. Thus began a brief bloodbath where several parties jockeyed for control of DC's future, including Black Adam star Dwayne Johnson.
That which was the stupidest shit ever. Dwayne, The Rock turned this shit into some shit that was all about him. This nigga was about to make everybody a secondary character. Nigga was about to turn Black Adam into like Thanos. Black Adam fire, but he wasn't Thanos, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it might take more than, you know what I'm saying, more than one motherfucker to take him down, but I've seen a child take him down. Like, come on. Yeah, man. He's not Darkseid. The Rock was trying to turn the DC universe into some all about him type shit. Weirdo.
How does it feel?
Wrong. Only in 2023 did things settle down when James Gunn and Peter Safran were announced as the new co-CEOs of the rebranded DC Studios, and the sun finally set officially on the DC Extended Universe.
Glad I didn't miss this.
So am I.
Nor has this behind-the-scenes chaos been limited to DC's film and TV division. The publishing side has also seen some big shakeups in recent years. DC Entertainment president Diane Nelson left the company in 2018. In 2019, DC laid off approximately 3% of its staff, and co-publisher Dan DiDio left the company later that year, cutting short plans for the controversial 5G initiative that would have replaced DC's.
The hell DC had going on? See, that's why they couldn't get shit together. They couldn't get nobody to stay there. For this to be a property that is legendary, why can't y'all get anybody to stay around y'all company and provide us with new stories to take us into the next generation of history, of human history? What y'all got going on over there at DC that y'all can't get it together?
Iconic cast of heroes with a new generation of characters. Currently, DC's publishing division is overseen by President, Publisher, and Chief Creative Officer Jim Lee and Editor-in-Chief Mary Javins. In short, this is a lot of chaos for any one company to endure in such a relatively short span of time. There's been a tangible lack of consistency and direction behind the DC brand for a long time. Just look at the latter years of the DCEU, with the company afraid to leave behind the foundation established in Zack Snyder's films, but
you gonna see what you should have did was finish Zack Snyder's shit, which I hope Netflix does. Netflix, bring back the Snyderverse. Let him finish the story. If y'all can team up with WWE and allow them to let Cody Rhodes finish the fucking story, let Zack Snyder finish the story. All right, that's one, right? Number two, the only thing that even fits in James Gunn's universe from what just by looking at it is Blue Beetle. It's the only thing that fits. Anything that came before that, well, obviously Peacemaker too, but anything that came before that, I don't think so. I don't think so. So why not start fresh? But definitely bring this back. This should be back. We should see those movies.
Simultaneously failing to build on that foundation in any meaningful way. And all the while, box office returns steadily plummeted.
This world will fall, like all the others.
Meanwhile, DC continued to struggle in other media. 2024's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League proved that even the mighty Rocksteady can miss with the DC brand. Over on the comics side, while the 5G reboot and its accompanying revamped DC timeline were certainly ambitious, they threatened to undo all the goodwill DC had only recently recaptured through the DC Rebirth initiative. DC was badly in need of a consistent, steady vision by the time Gunn and Safran were hired to right the ship in 2023. And while it's far too early to say whether they've accomplished that goal, early signs are certainly promising. Superman was the box office success DC sorely needed after a truly disastrous 2023 and 20.
Did we really like Superman? Stop playing. Y'all think just because I'm rolling up over here, I don't hear what they talking about? Okay, so time out for a second while they're talking about Superman. I don't got no time limit today. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk for a little bit. Superman, right? Originally, I was prompted to go watch Superman in movie theaters because they have a 4D movie theater out here in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And I was gonna check it out. But my kids was like, nah, nigga, ain't nobody watching no fucking Superman, especially not no James Gunn Superman. I said, okay, you little motherfuckers. Yeah, I ain't gotta go with me. I go by myself. I ended up not going because I'm a dad and I had other things to take care of, so fuck that movie. Anyways, I looked up, I blinked, and it ended up streaming on HBO Max. Now, that is something that I do overly pay for every motherfucking month, those fucking streaming services. So, of course, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get my looks in, you know what I'm saying, for everything that I'm paying for every motherfucking month. It took me 2 weeks to watch the Superman movie. And I am a big Nicholas Hoult fan. Shout out to Nicholas Hoult, the guy who plays Lex Luthor. I'm a big fan of his acting. Yeah, it took me 2 weeks to watch it. I don't know why. You know, you want to know what it was? I'm gonna tell you what it was. It's me saying inside myself, and you know what I'm saying, and it's wrong to say to think like that. Saying to myself on the inside, I'm not gonna watch that because it's not Zack Snyder shit. It ain't Zack Snyder shit. You're right. It's time to move on. There's some new shit out here. When Zack Snyder shit come back up, you know what I'm saying, then you can watch and talk about that. But for right now, this is what it is. So I finally sat down and watched all of Superman. I kind of had fun watching it. It kind of gave me Smallville vibes. Anybody that you know what I'm saying, if you really into this blurred shit, y'all done watch Smallville, you know what I'm talking about. Superman, 2025 Superman kind of gave me Smallville vibes. You know what I'm saying? Which is a show that I love, by the way, even though Mac is a horrible person. Anyway, yeah. Now we got Supergirl coming out after that. Do we like the DC universe so far? We got Blue Beetle. We got the Suicide Squad. The one with John Cena and Idris Elba. We got Superman. We got Creature Commandos. If you haven't checked that cartoon out yet, you are doing yourself a great disservice. Creature Commandos is fire. And now we got Supergirl coming out summer 2026. Along with sometime next year, probably now coming out on Netflix, the Green Lantern TV show named Lanterns with the boy Aaron Pierre as John Stewart, which I think is going to be fire. But I don't know. Y'all let me know.
2024 film slate. Creature Commandos and Peacemaker have established a strong track record for the DCU on the streaming front. And as for comics, the Lee Javins era of DC Comics has been truly great, most notably giving us the chart-topping Absolute Universe imprint. Things are finally looking up for DC, which is exactly why the chaos and confusion of the Netflix acquisition is an unwelcome development. The very last thing this company needs is another regime change or a fundamental pivot.
You just have to decide what kind of man you want to grow up to be, Clark, because it's going to change the world.
It's going to take some time for Netflix's acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery to be approved and completed, and there are any number of things that could go wrong along the way. But once all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, Netflix is going to have a massive pile of new IP to play with, which then begs the question, do they continue following Warner's roadmap for these franchises or start fresh? It's hard to imagine Netflix changing course with the Harry Potter and Game of Thrones series. They'll be inheriting a Harry Potter.
Hold on. New Harry Potter series coming out. They got the Professor Snape is black this time, y'all. It don't make a difference as long as he's played the right way. And now because it's a TV show, they slick kit to go into the little nuances of certain things that we didn't know, or maybe flush out more of what the books were talking about. New Game of Thrones spinoff, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. You know anything Game of Thrones, I'm there. House of the Dragon, season 3. Come on, man. Season 1 and 2. Chef's kiss. Let's keep going.
Thrones series. They'll be inheriting a Harry Potter series in the midst of adapting the original novels and an ever-growing slate of Game of Thrones spin-offs. There's no reason to rock those boats, but with DC, there's always a danger that Netflix will want to wipe the slate clean and start a brand new shared universe of films and shows from the ground up for their...
Hold up. Do we feel like with Netflix acquiring all of this, there's actually a list, and I'm going to see if maybe I could find it, of everything that Netflix gets to get with acquiring that Warner Brothers whole little situation. Hold on, let me see something. I might be able to find it for y'all. Let's see if I can find it for y'all. Hold fast, light up. Let me see. There's a list. I saw it. Somebody made a whole list of every. Okay, here it is. Hold on. No, that ain't it. Come on. There's a list here. As soon as I find the list, that's when I'm gonna switch over. I saw it. I'm telling you. Well, hold on. Maybe that's actually the list up here. All right. So let's look at this for a second. It says, one of Trump's billionaire buddies just bought Paramount. Now he wants to buy Warner Brothers. That means one giant company could control almost everything you watch on TV. This is everything you get if you buy Warner Brothers. Look at that list, y'all. Tell me that list ain't crazy. HBO, CNN, CBS News, Showtime, TBS, Comedy Central, TNT, Paramount Plus, TLC, HGTV, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Animal Planet, CBS Sports, Adult Swim, Teen Nick, Boomerang, Cinemax, Cooking Channel, Discovery Channel, Food Network, Science Channel, the CW Network, Travel Channel, BET, MTV, VH1. They get all of that. Okay, let's get back to what bro was saying down here about What happens? Now y'all heard what they get to acquire with all of that. We still over here with it though.
Streaming service. We can only hope the company resists that particular urge after so many years of creative turmoil and leadership shakeups. The very last.
Again, he's saying he's hoping that they don't change the timeline or change nothing that DC Studios already has going on, because they in fact do have the option to wipe the slate clean, get a new president of DC Studios and all of that, and start all the way over. They in fact can do that. Will it be funny if they do it? How would y'all feel if Netflix went ahead and just wiped the slate clean and redid everything? Said, fuck you, James Gunn, you know? Or would you like them to continue what James Gunn is doing, and would everybody be satisfied if maybe Netflix was strictly ran by the Snyderverse? Like maybe Netflix just gave Zack Snyder all of DC Netflix or whatever, like continue the other 2 Justice League movies that you were going to shoot. Then possibly, if you want to, make your own universe that will just do shit on Netflix with, you know? Then damn, that's crazy, because there would be 3 Batmen out there, because you still got Matt Reeves' Batman and the Penguin series that came with that. That's 3 different universes if you let James Gunn continue to do his thing and let Matt Reeves continue to do his thing.
Last thing DC needs right now is change. Gunn and Safran need to be left alone to cook. Now, we've only gotten 1 live-action DCU movie so far in Superman, which will be followed in 2026 by Supergirl and Clayface, and in 2027 by Gunn's Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow. On the TV front, we've only seen the barest glimpse of 2026's Lanterns and the other shows that will make up this new universe. Clearly, there's a plan in place. Gunn even has a name for it, Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. But we're still in the very early stages of that plan. As much as things are looking up for DC after a few bad years, we're still very much in the...
James Gunn, I don't think I'm going to let you get away with the fact that there's a Clayface movie coming out with all the motherfucking characters that you could choose from. Yo, just because that shit worked over there with Marvel, where you took a group of characters that nobody motherfucking know, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you made them household names, because Rocket Raccoon is one of my favorite characters, and if not my favorite character in all of the MCU. That might not work over here on the DC side. You got to get everybody that we know established first. They don't even know who Batman is. Why do we have a Clayface movie? Come on, man. We don't even know who Batman is. Is that going to be the running joke in James Gunn's universe? Like, he's just going to cast all these different characters around Batman, central to Batman, and then it's just going to be, well, who's going to play Batman? Then they're going to hint at him in the movies, and then one day they're just going to spring up and be like, oh, somebody has definitely been cast as Batman. Come on, man.
Rebuilding stage right now. The Gunn Superman did respectably well at the box office, narrowly beating 2013's Man of Steel domestically.
And see, here's the thing, because it did so good, I don't mind James Gunn coming out here again, because again, I still will pull up and watch these movies, because this is what it is. This is what we love. Just do it the right way. Even if you do it your own way, just do it the right way.
But one might argue that a big budget Superman reboot by the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy should have performed better.
I look around at us. You know what I see? Losers.
Repairing the damage done to the DC brand is a long-term and ongoing process. Netflix needs to commit to letting that process continue to play out, not tossing everything out and starting over yet again.
They have the option to do that, though, y'all. They can't just say, you know what, we don't want this no more. We want to do something else. I just don't, I'm like him. I don't think that would be the best thing to do. I think because of the track record that DC has in live action, with all this starting over, all this bringing these different people in to use the same vision, and it's not even the same thing no more, you know? DC can't afford to mess up.
We just found the ideal live-action Superman in David Corenswet. Don't start that agonizing process all over again. The other questions being thrown around a lot: will Netflix bring back Zack Snyder's DCEU?
Okay.
You were sent here for a reason, and even if it takes you the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is.
Some DCEU fans might be clinging to the hope that Netflix will pivot all the way back and restore the Snyderverse, given the streamer's past relationship with Snyder. But the actual odds of that happening are probably somewhere between extremely low and a snowball's chance in hell.
Damn.
DCEU was never consistently successful for WBD, either critically or commercially, giving the streamer very little incentive to revert back to a non-winning formula.
Hey, you want to know something? With everything that's going on now, man, with AI, I wouldn't be surprised if in another year, maybe another year or two, 5 at the most, somebody just takes AI and all these movies that Marvel and DC and anime don't want to give us, some fan gonna come out here and really start locking in, and they're gonna give us the movies that we want to see on YouTube, and they're gonna take off. Then these corporations, these big corporations, gonna want to slide in, pause, and get their little piece of the pie. Or y'all could just make the movies now that the fans want. If you give the fans what they want, they will buy it. But wait, there's more. Hold on.
Moreover, Netflix seems to have soured on Snyder altogether following the frosty reception of the Rebel Moon movies. Snyder himself seems
That's Rebel Moon, though, man. Come on now.
pretty ambivalent on the possibility of future.
Did anybody like Rebel Moon? I never sat down and watched it. And maybe I'm not giving it a fair chance. My wife said Rebel Moon was actually kind of fire. So I might need to sit down and actually just take a look at it. And maybe it's getting a bad rep. Maybe it's getting a bad rep. There's a lot of stuff from DC that just gets a bad rep. You know what I'm saying? The Gotham Knights game. Everybody said that game was trash. It's actually not if you played it. Multiplayer at that. Some of this stuff you might need to give it a watch back and see if it's actually ass or not.
Rebel Moon movies and has moved on to other projects like The Last Photograph. Again, we just don't see a Snyderverse comeback as a very likely scenario here. And what of DC Comics in all of this? Is DC
Because the Snyderverse would make motherfucking sense, nigga. Do you know how many people would pull up to Netflix and DC as a whole if you let James Gunn rock and then let Zack Snyder come back and do his last 2 Justice League movies? So all we need is just the last 2 movies. I'm just asking for that on the bare minimum right there. Let him do whatever he wants to do within them last 2 movies.
publishing division even a blip on Netflix?
Right there on Netflix.
Netflix's radar? Will they have any interest in overseeing a comic book publisher or simply license DC's characters out to other companies? Again, DC Comics has been in a very good place these past couple of years. So the ideal scenario is that Netflix stays as hands-off with the division as it has with Mark Millar's Millar World line. Let DC Comics continue to operate as it has these past couple of years, producing good, character-driven stories that can be adapted in other media. If Netflix wants to make waves anywhere with the DC brand, it should be with the games division. While somewhat overshadowed in the initial announcement, it's been confirmed that Netflix will take ownership of WB Games along with everything else.
Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Hold on. Let's go back. Y'all need to see this. This game is the greatest Batman game to ever come out, man. Well, this little series, the Arkham series from Batman. If y'all are some fools out there that like to, you know what I'm saying, roll up something and go solo gaming or whatever, that Batman game is one of them games you solo game. If you know, you know.
Overshadowed in the initial announcement, it's been confirmed that Netflix will take ownership of WB Games along with everything else. With all the moves Netflix has been making into the interactive game space lately, they may well have big plans for the developers and IP now coming under their umbrella.
Now, Netflix being in charge of certain video games and all of that, and possibly linking it to TV shows that they can make video games off of, I'm not too mad about that because I watched that Tom Clancy's the Splinter Cell that they have on Netflix right now. Man, that shit fire. Y'all better go check that out.
As it is, WB Games has hardly been making the best use of the DC brand.
Like John Wick. It's like animated John Wick.
use of the DC brand in recent years. Games like 2022's Gotham Knights and the aforementioned Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League were big.
I think this game was probably better if you played it with people. Like, you played this by yourself, it's probably not that good.
Disappointments. While the much anticipated Wonder Woman game has been canceled after a long and chaotic development cycle. Meanwhile, as much as Gunn and
anybody really want a Wonder Woman game? I'm just being honest.
Safran seem to be including the games in their long-term plans for the DC line, that has yet to yield any concrete announcements. So hopefully, having Netflix's resources to bring to bear can only mean better things for DC's future.
I want a Wonder Woman game if she moves the way that Gal Gadot moved in the Justice League movies.
Gaming slate. But beyond the games, the best thing that can happen for DC in the midst of this merger is nothing at all. After so many years of shifting leadership and pivots in direction, what DC needs is stability, consistency, and a chance to win back moviegoers still skeptical of the brand. What it doesn't need is a new captain at the helm or yet another reboot. Just trust that Gunn and company know what they're doing. We'll leave it at that.
All right. That was from IGN, y'all. That was from IGN. That's what that means. With Netflix buying WB, what does that have to do with DC? For my DC fans, they could change it up, they could rock the boat, or they could let James Gunn continue doing what he's doing. Now, I'm hearing through the grapevine was it Netflix or was it Paramount? I'm hearing James Gunn might be on his way out the door. Then again, it could be another fable too. Allegedly, we don't know. Just hope that they don't start everything over, because it's going to take the wind out of a lot of people really believing in DC anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on, let's see. Let's get into some Marvel shit, man. Let's get into some Marvel shit. We still smoking bud out there, man. Roll up another one. Let me see what we got. We gotta get into some Marvel shit. Okay, we can go right. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, you want to know something? Here we go. This is from the boy Sammy J Reacts. Again, salute to that brother. Give him a like, comment, and subscribe. He does fantastic work in catching all this Marvel shit as it drops before any and everybody, and breaking it down the way that we know and love.
More insane news and updates and leaked story details about Avengers Doomsday and the future of the MCU that you got to hear to believe. Like what Doom's master plan is for both Doomsday and Secret Wars, and who he's going to be manipulating along the way. What the new Avengers team is going to look like post Secret Wars, cameos, and so much more. And I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to give this news 5 big dooms. Doom. And y'all know me. If they give me a little bit of crumbs, I'm going to give y'all a lot of 5-star meals. But either way, me and you know what we got to do. We got to talk about it. First things first.
Salute, Sammy J.
Some peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, most of this news comes to us from the Cosmic Circus and Alex Perez December Q&A, where he revealed a lot of details about Doomsday, Secret Wars, and beyond. And one of the things that Alex Perez reiterated but gave us a little bit more context is the fact that Dr. Doom is reportedly going after Steve Rogers in Avengers Doomsday. Now, I know what you're thinking because I'm like Charles and I read minds. You're thinking, duh, we know about this, Sammy. You've reported upon this like 4 or 5 times. Hakuna Matata, because Alex gave us some more details, like the fact that Steve's role actually isn't going to be the main conflict of the film. And he used the Thanos getting the Infinity Stones analogy for Doom going after Steve Rogers. Now, what the fuck does that mean? That means Doom is most likely going to be going after people who caused incursions, or people that he can manipulate to rise to power. Now, what's funny is if you've been following me, you know my working theory is that he's going after people that he can use as the physical embodiments of Infinity Stones. So hearing Alex Perez say that kind of confirms this theory that I thought of, only it's a little bit different. Now, I'll explain my theory on the physical embodiment of Infinity Stones in a second because I want to get into Steve Rogers' role in the film. Because one of the worst kept secrets in this movie is the fact that we're getting Chris Evans and Haley Atwell reprising their role as Steve Rogers and Peggy.
Fire. Thank you for bringing Chris Evans back, whether it's as Steve Rogers, Captain America, just bring him back as Captain America adjacent. Bring back Steve Rogers. That's a step in the right direction.
Carter, which caused some concern for people that this is just going to be Civil War again, or that the main conflict is just going to be focused on Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom and Steve Rogers. But thankfully, Alex Perez, with that added context, eased our stress a little bit, put our shoulders down, and let us know that he's just going to play a role in the film, but he's not going to be the primary conflict that Doom is going to go against. Like I mentioned already, there's a bunch of other characters he's going after too. But I am going to love seeing Steve Rogers interact with this new group of Avengers. Also getting to see Sam Wilson become Captain America, co-leading with him. And please have him look something like this because this is the best he's ever looked in the MCU. But this is also the perfect opportunity for Steve Rogers to give us like a little flashback scene of him returning the stones and why that caused incursions or why he thinks that's why Doom's after him. This is one of the most sought after things that MCU fans have always wanted to see. So it'd be really cool to see it in Doomsday. And also you can bet your bottom dollar that Doomsday is going to open up immediately where Endgame left off, with us zooming.
All right. As far as he said about this right here, where he had to go and return the stones, right? That's what Captain America did at the end. He decided he returned the stones, but he also went back in time and lived the rest of his life with Peggy Carter, the woman of the love of his life. You know, he went all the way back. That still could have caused an incursion, but if they don't give us a flashback, they need to give us a 1 hour special or a show in between if it has anything to do with Doomsday. The more that they can build on the Doomsday, because they have to cover up for the fact that they just took Kang's story and threw it on Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr., and pivoted away from Kang to go to Dr. Doom so they could dick eat and all that. The more world building that they could do for Dr. Doom, they need to do it. So if they don't give us a show showing how he put back the stones and what, you know what I'm saying, the cause and effect of that is, we definitely do need a flashback. He's right.
This is one of the most sought after things that MCU fans have always wanted to see, so it'd be really cool to see it in Doomsday. And also, you can bet your bottom dollar that Doomsday is going to open up immediately where Endgame left off, with us zooming out of Steve and Peggy's house having their little dance and kiss, seeing a green flash of light with a cloaked figure just posing up a storm, aura forming. As he stands there menacingly, points at Steve Rogers and say, "You are doomed. I doom you 3000. We're in the Doomsday now." And then he doomed all over the place. That's when they have a little fight scene. Doom gets his mask knocked off, and we Steve say, "Tony?" with Doom turning around saying, "Who the hell is Tony?" Absolute cinema 10 out of 10.
Okay, so word around town is now I'm gonna let him finish before we do all that because I got some shit to show y'all that we can get up out of here.
Notes. But in all seriousness, thank God, because I think Doomsday and Secret Wars needs to be Reed and Doom focused. Now, obviously, you can counterpoint that and say, we just got this Reed Richards. We don't even know him. We're just getting this Doom. We don't even know him. What's the point of building up and having a conflict between the two? There's no history there. To which I say, shut the fuck up. You're making too much sense. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have people that are like, where's the conflict between Reed and Victor Von Doom? We need that. Did y'all watch the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four or not? Because he's most likely kidnapped Franklin. You take my son, I'm going after you too. There's the conflict. We don't need any more. But don't forget, they teased that empty Latveria chair, funny enough, Avengers Chairs Day, throughout Fantastic Four First Step. So you can already bet there's a conflict between Reed and Victor Von Doom if he is.
This Victor Von Doom definitely has beef with Reed. There's never a Victor that likes Reed. I don't care what universe this is. There's never a Victor that likes Reed. That's never going to happen. But it might be Reed Richards and a variant of Iron Man, Superior Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr. as well, against Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. And I believe when Iron Man and Dr. Doom have their 1v1, I think Dr. Doom's going to kill him. Just, it's going to flex his power a little bit, which will then shift over to Reed like, damn, what you going to do, see? You know what I'm saying?
is from the Fantastic Four's universe, and he's probably somehow found out about the incursions, is pissed off that Rita's not doing nothing about it, and has witnessed how strong Franklin is, and he's one of those people that he's after to help him conquer the entire multiverse and put it one world under doom. And if that doesn't work, you can always, as the kids say, Riz up, Sue Storm. Please God, no. But this leads me to the next interesting thing that Alex Perez had to say about the cameos for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, saying that they won't just be jingling keys cameos, they will have an integral role in the story of the film, which I love to hear. Apparently, these cameos will be used to show off the effects of incursions in their own universes, and then later they'll be called upon to join a higher authority to join the fight against Doom, which sounds almost exactly like what the fuck I said about the cameos in Doomsday and Secret Wars like a month ago. Roll the clip. I think the best way to accomplish Tobey Maguire being in either Brand New Day or Doomsday is to show incursions about to happen or happening.
Also show Andrew Garfield, because he not gonna say it because he thinks nobody's paying attention, but I guarantee you Andrew Garfield is also back in the movie too.
In different universes across the multiverse. And the blueprint for how that scene should play out is in X-Men 97. Y'all remember that scene when Magneto basically shuts down the world and we get a nice little shot of every single hero in this universe reacting to that? I think that would be the best way to get a nice little quick look at Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Get shots of other classic Marvel characters throughout Marvel cinematic history, not just the MCU, Marvel cinema in general for the past 40 years. But I've been saying that makes the most sense on how we can get a Hugh Jackman's Wolverine or a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, which has been reported ad nauseum at this point. And also is a smart way of having a Spider-Man character, since we know Tom Holland isn't going to play a role in Doomsday, at least not throughout the entirety of the story. He'll probably show up in a post-credit scene or a small cameo. And really just focus on these legacy multiversal characters fighting Doom, Doombots, and whatever the fuck is going on with these incursions. I need this back-to-back scene specifically. But yeah, throughout the entirety of Doomsday, it's just going to be Doom, Master Manipulator, turning our own heroes against each other, fighting each other. That's why we'll have the X-Men fighting the Avengers fighting the new Avengers, and the Fantastic.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I can't wait to see this shit. I can't wait to see this shit. This is going to be cinema in its finest. Y'all cannot mess this up. Marvel, Disney, y'all cannot mess this up. Y'all can't do this to us. Everybody that's been here since 2008, maybe a little bit before. Everybody that's been here since 1999, when Blade really set this shit over. When Blade really set this shit off. You can't do it to us. You can't bring us all the way here.
Fantastic Four being like, what the fuck is going on? Until Doom ultimately master manipulates and narcissistically makes his way to the top and creates his own universe. Hold up, his writing is fire, which leads us to this next interesting bit of news, and that's that Yelena Belova will reportedly be in a precarious situation in Avengers Doomsday, forcing Bob to bring out Sentry/The Void, which you just knew in the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts when Bob said that he's trying to keep Sentry/The Void at bay because one comes out, the other one does too. That was going to play a big factor in the Doomsday because this is a fucking godlike character. And like Yelena said, now you're with us from now on. I'll get into the theory on what a precarious situation means, but I feel like this is confirming that Doom wants Sentry. Going back to that theory I mentioned about all of these personifications of the Infinity Stones, only mean that metaphorically, but he wants these all-powerful beings that can help him create his battle world. But I also think the 10 rings and the Bengals will probably play a factor into Doom's rise to power as well. It'd be funny as shit if we get Doom using like Mjolnir.
Sammy J is cooking. You think it's funny, but we just might see Doom with the Bengals, the 10 rings, somebody's sword he shouldn't have, or axe he shouldn't have, and all that. Y'all think it's funny, but Marvel needs this. This is the all-star game. Marvel needs to do shit that they normally wouldn't do, that they know we want to see, but that they normally wouldn't do, and just write the story good. We just might see Doom just like this.
Near the rings and like fucking magic and everything, suit made of vibranium, all of it. Just give him everything. My guess is that he already took the power cosmic from Galactus. The ship is still floating in the atmosphere, and then he's got Franklin, who's like the space stone. So power and space he's got, metaphorically and theoretically speaking. But what exactly does he want with Bob/Sentry/The Void? Well, if we go back to a theory I had 7 months ago, and if you're a real one, you remember this theory. Type I'm a real one down in the comments below, please, along with W attention span and I love my life. And in that theory, I talked about how Molecule Man has not been introduced in the MCU, and he plays a big role in Secret Wars, but they're most likely going to replace him with another character. Now, a lot of people thought that would be Loki, and a lot of people still think it's Loki, but I don't think it's Loki. I'll explain in a second. Because instead, I think Sentry/The Void is going to be our new Molecule Man. And don't worry, I brought receipts why it's going to be Sentry. Because in the Dark Avengers run, funny enough, the Dark Avengers, led by Norman Osborn, are tasked with stopping Molecule Man, who's like created this own fake world or taking this town under hostage, similar to Wanda. So they got to stop him. For a second, it looks like Molecule Man literally atomizes fucking Sentry and he's dead. Matter of fact, Sentry dies like 4 or 5 times in this run, and I'm like, what? He just keeps coming back. But it's in this moment that Sentry realizes he can manipulate atoms as well, and even Molecule Man is like, what the fuck? And he subdues Molecule Man. And I'm thinking they're gonna be pulling elements from this Dark Avengers run where Norman Osborn manipulates Sentry by saying, hey, I have voices in my head too, with Doom manipulating Sentry / Bob / the Void by like, hey, listen, if you help me out, we're gonna create this new world, it's gonna be better, etc. All the people that you love are gonna be okay. And don't forget about my
all the people that you love are gonna be okay. You can be with Yelena. I know you love her. This is Doom talking to him. I know you got feelings for her, and you won't pursue it because you think you're too much of a weirdo and a former drug addict, and she wouldn't want somebody like you. I can make it so you and her are together. I'm telling you, Robert Downey Jr. is about to kill this role, man. I'm telling you.
Multiversal Cabal theory. Cabal is heavily featured in the Dark Avengers run too, but like I said, since they're not using Norman Osborn, I feel like they're going to give a lot of his storyline to other characters, most likely Doom. So either Doom is going to use Yelena to bring Sentry out, or she's going to be causing some type of multiversal incursion type threat that causes him to Hulk out, essentially. Now,
he could kill her in front of him. He could take out Yelena in front of him, and that should make him snap because he's like, I never got to tell her. I never got to tell you I love you. It might be on some shit like that. And by the way, Alex Perez, most of the time, most of the shit he talks about, it ends up happening in the movies.
It causes him to Hulk out, essentially. Now, this leads me to why I don't think Loki's going to be the Molecule Man. I think he's going to be the Beyonders, which is something I've said for a year now almost. But shout out to Alex Perez, who also confirmed this. Oh no, we're not going to get that little kid version of the Beyonder from Secret Wars 1 and 2, or the other Beyonders that look like giant aliens from the Secret Wars run. Instead, Loki's going to be the main MacGuffin that Doom needs to get to, since he's the one holding the multiverse together, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 holding the train back, which he will succeed in getting at the end of Doomsday, leading into Secret Wars, creating his own battle world, one world under Doom. And please have him moving like King Baldwin. We also learned that Doctor Strange and Clea are going to be investigating incursions in Avengers Doomsday, searching.
They're going, and Doctor Strange and Clea are going to end up working with Doom, and at the last second, Strange is going to betray. He's going to betray the Avengers, which will lead all the way back to tie into when he was in Universe 838, and Mr. Fantastic said, in our experience, the most dangerous thing that's out in the multiverse is you. Stephen Strange.
For ways to stop the multiverse from collapsing, which I feel like was kind of obvious, but this also confirms that we're not probably going to get a Doctor Strange 3 that takes place between Doomsday and Secret Wars. Instead, they're just going to shove that storyline into Doomsday. And again, it makes the most sense. Right now, he's the only one aware that these incursions are happening because Clea showed up and said, you caused an incursion, Doctor Strange. And again, Doctor Strange is probably another person that Doom is after. But he'll most likely end up being his right-hand guy, just like in Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars run, before he ultimately turns heel, just like in the comic. But something else I found interesting is that Spider-Man Brand New Day and Vision Quest reportedly helped set this table and set the stage for Avengers Secret Wars. And I know, I'm like, how? At least for Vision Quest, I have a couple of ideas on what they mean by that. And it's one giant Scarlet Witch-sized elephant in a room. I think Vision Quest is going to be the first confirmation that she's still alive, she's still out there, and Doom obviously is going to want her reality warping powers. And Doomsday / Secret Wars.
Tony already got your bitch, Vision. We don't even need to wait till next year, or what is it, 2027, for the show to come out, whenever it's supposed to come out. I think it's supposed to come out next year. Y'all tell me, I'm going to find out. Does Vision Quest come out next year? If it comes out next year, Tony already got you, bitch. I'm telling you. He already got her. She's already right there with him, just like that in that picture.
Is going to be adapting some type of element of Children's Crusade. As for how Spider-Man sets the table, it's probably got something to do with Sadie Sink's character, since we know she's going to be in Secret Wars, but also
word on the street is a lot of folks think that Sadie Sink is supposed to be playing Jean Grey from another universe, or the actual 616 Jean Grey, another mutant popping up.
the fact that his new mentor looks like Dr. Doom, but it's not Tony Stark. Plus, teaming up with the other Spider people and the rest of the Avengers is going to be fire. I also learned that Rhodey and Clint Barton won't appear in Doomsday because it looks like they're going to be sitting this one out, and to use the wise words of Terrence Howard's Rhodey, it looks like they're in for next time, baby. And honestly, with the issues that Jeremy Renner got going on in his real life, probably want to avoid this mess. And Secret Invasion was just asked, so let's have him redeem himself in another secret project. We also learned that Shuri's role in the movie is trying to get Talokan on her side to help the fight against Doom, which also helps explain why Letitia Wright was reading being Black Panther Doom War in preparation of Avengers Doomsday. Probably just to get some of the dynamics between the characters correct. But that's all the new news and updates we got about Avengers Doomsday. And
my early prediction is Doom's gonna get to Namor and have him working with him. I think Namor's gonna end up working with Doom. Shout out to Sammy J Reacts. We'll get right here. There's a couple of things I want to show y'all. Look. All right, before we get up out of here. All right, so we got the teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday is 1 minute and 25 seconds long. That's supposed to be attached to Avatar Fire and Ash, which is in theaters December 18th, but it comes out the day before. If you know, you know. It says Robert Downey Jr. will officially be playing Victor Von Doom and not a variant of Tony Stark in Avengers Doomsday. And that's by way of bleedingcool.com. Yeah, no, we're not going to read all that right now. Okay, so Avengers Endgame.
Avengers!
Okay. I'm hearing through the grapevine, y'all, that Avengers Endgame is going to have a post-credit scene this time that ties directly into Avengers Doomsday, which is why they are re-releasing it out in theaters. They are going to have a post-credit scene. Oh, y'all don't understand what y'all don't understand what we're looking at right now.
On your left.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Even looking at this, makes me sad that Chadwick Boseman not here no more, man. Rest in power to Chadwick. Rest in power to Mr. Boseman, King Boseman. That's just pure superhero sentiment, bro. We get to do this again in theater next year. I'm gonna wait till next year. I ain't gonna do it. Cause you know, like I know, yeah, I ain't gonna do it. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This was a good session. I'm fried. We done went over a little bit of everything, man. We got some good news from looking at the Supergirl trailer. Tell me if y'all going to go see that movie that's appearing summer 2026. More DC and Marvel news. Tell me how y'all feeling about leading up to Doomsday. Oh yeah, hold on. Leading up to Doomsday is something else I think I need to show y'all. Let me see. Hold up. See if I can find it. Now, what I was looking at was, see, look, the Avengers franchise in 2026. Secret War begins filming in spring. Endgame re-releases in September 25th. Doomsday re-releases, December 18th. This is great. Matter of fact, now we're gonna get up out of here. All I know is in a few days we'll be talking about the trailer for Avengers Doomsday. Y'all stay tuned, man. This was a great session. I'm fried, man. I'm finna get up out of here. It's your boy Slay DiBiase, man. This is another episode of the Offenders Initiative podcast, and we out, y'all. Good looking. Thank y'all for pulling up. Everybody that pulled up. Thank y'all for pulling up and commenting and all that good stuff and taking the ride with your boy. Be easy, y'all. Till another one.